Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the hidden truth behind the UK meat labelling system. I'm pretty sure when you go to the supermarkets, you're aware we're constantly bombarded with the claims the supermarket make. And we're talking about outdoor reared, outdoor bred, free range, grass-fed, organic, red tractor awards, all those sort of things. But what do they actually mean? Well guys, since I've started doing my food exposed videos, I had a lot of requests for me to look into the meat industry. So I've decided to do a little bit of research and make it kind of really easy for you to understand what those statements mean. Because in a lot of cases, or in some cases, the statements are nothing but the empty words. So we're going to go through all the meats, and also we're going to be looking at the red tractor in the end. Because again, the certain claims that the supermarkets make are very, very confusing and somewhat a little bit deceptive. So we're going to start with the chicken. In fact, we're going to start with the free-range chicken because this is the claim. Once again, I have done a video on the eggs exposed, I think it was called that, when we looked about the egg industry altogether. And it's very, very eye-opening. Again, because of tons and tons of claims for the eggs, free-range, barn eggs, that sort of thing. So please have a look if you haven't. It is very, very eye-opening. But anyway, so we're talking now about the legal standards, okay, for UK free-range. We're talking about chicken. So this is what legally needs to be happening for the supermarkets to call our chicken as a free range. So chickens must have an access to the outside for at least half of their life. Half of their life. That's free range to me, and I'm sure like to you, indicate that the chickens will be wandering around in the field very happy all of their lives, not just half. But this is not the case. So apparently also chickens are kept indoors for 5 to 6 weeks. Only then they may go outside if they choose to. All right, indoors, there could be densely populated up to 13 birds per square meter. 13 birds. Okay, this is a lot of birds per square meter. This is pretty much what I have in front of me here. Can you just imagine having 13 birds in that? That's pretty horrendous. So the truth is, when they're talking about the chickens are able to go outside, and again, I covered this in the other video, is quite often the ability of chicken to go outside is not a massive opening. There are generally tiny, tiny little holes somewhere in the bottom of the barn. And in fact is where you might assume that chickens will be running out to have a look and, have a run around and have some peck on some grass and some bugs. Again, this is not the case because a lot of the chickens are bred in such a high numbers together. Half of them don't even know that the little hatch exists or afraid to go out because they haven't been there or only been there once or twice. Another thing apparently, right, which was a bit of a shocker to me, that the free range meat or chickens can still mean fast-growing breeds, big trimming and stressful slaughter at 56 days. The fast-growing breeds, we're talking about the Franken chickens, where they pretty much like pumped with stuff originally or genetically modified, that they grow really, really fast. So to me, again, as a consumer, when I'm considering a free-range chicken, I just imagine a healthy bird, not something that has been kind of almost genetically modified for a faster production so the companies can make themselves more money. So now we're looking, guys, at the pork. So we've got the outdoor bred and outdoor reared is the statements on the labels. So outdoor bred means that they're born outdoors but moved indoors after weaning. Outdoor reared means that they raised outdoors for longer but not necessarily all the time. And free-range pork means there's more regulated, but still it is not always as idyllic as it's made out to be. So what it is been found, apparently there are many pigs labeled as the outdoor bred spend majority of their life in the concrete pens. Tailor docking and teeth clipping is still routine even in the higher welfare farms. And the red tractor pork can be from intensive indoor units with a minimal enrichment. So again, this is pretty horrendous. We're talking about, when you use the word outdoor, as for an animal, for the pork, you imagine piggy to be outside, in any way outdoor, and not to be raised in the concrete pens. Right, so now we're moving on to the beef, and we're looking at the grass-fed, which is one of the probably biggest loopholes, or scandals, in fact, if you can call it that. So there is no legal definition for the beef to be called grass-fed unless they will state it is 100% grass-fed or certified by Pasture for Life. So many grass-fed cows are also given grain in winter for fattening and they may spend months and months indoors, especially in the final stage before slaughter. So basically, okay, so 100% grass-fed or pasture for life certified means that animals never fed grain, they're pasture grazed for life, even in the winter, although hay is allowed, and there's no hormones or routine antibiotics. Okay, so this is a little bit better. However, the point is that the supermarkets grass-fed is usually finished on grain to speed up the weight gain. Animals often live indoors most part of the year, and the term grass-fed is totally unregulated. I gotta say, guys, I have fallen for this before, because every time supermarkets push an advert for the meats, they always seem to put grass-fed in the big letters. And again, it just proves the point. Unless it actually states 100% grass-fed, that means your cow barely see any grass potentially. So again, this is one of the biggest marketing ploys. So we're looking now at the organic. So it is better, but not as good as, again, it's made out to be. So apparently certified organic, we're talking about the meat in this instance. So no GM feed, no routine antibiotics or no synthetic pesticides, more space and access to pasture. Again, there's no legal definition how much more space, and apparently longer lifespans than standard meat, but still things like animals like chicken are slaughtered at 70 to 81 days, which is pretty young considering chickens could live well past 7 years. So the bad truth, or the honest truth about the organic, apparently, and again, I didn't really know this, but the inorganic, right, the animals can still be transported long distances and slaughtered at the large commercial facilities. Some organic feeds are imported from countries with poor transparency. And again, we'll cover this on the different videos. In certain countries, there are different standards to how things are labeled or how things are controlled, if you wish. So how can we call something organic if the organic feed comes in, but there's no actual traceability to prove there was 100% organic? This is the point. And of course, as well, the organic doesn't guarantee outdoor living all year round, especially in the winter. Apparently, some slaughterhouses process, hundreds of animals per hour, making it humane impossible. Apparently, the CCTV was introduced as mandatory in 2018 in the slaughterhouses to stop animal cruelty, but unfortunately they're rarely checked or monitored. And we've already seen this happening with one of the big milk production companies. Only a few months back, they were in the news found that for somebody who pride themselves on the animal welfare, they've been found that the staff was actually abusing and kicking cows and little calves on the milk farm. And again, it's quickly got brushed under the carpet because those companies just don't want you to know. But the point is, this is apparently what's been found, and this is happening more often than we know. And so now, lastly, guys, we're going to be looking at the Red Tractor Award, if you wish. Again, I gotta say, when it originally came out, and I'm like, okay, because they're pushing this hard. Let's buy British beef or British meat. Let's buy the Red Tractor. I totally for buying the British produce. Absolutely, 100% our farmers need it. But when they push this Red Tractor thing, because it's meant to be giving you a better quality, because they have a better standard. So the Red Tractor, it appears on the meat, dairy, processed meats, and more as a little logo. I'm sure you know what this is all about. It is marketed as a food assurance scheme. So a symbol of quality, safety, and animal welfare. Just bear this one in mind. And is backed by major supermarkets like Tesco, Sainsbury's, Co-op, and more. So Red Tractor doesn't mean high standards, it means basic legal compliance. So the minimum a farm can do, and they'll deserve the little badge of the tractor. So under this scheme, the Red Tractor allows intensive farming. We're talking about they are all for animal welfare. Well, apparently it's allowed to have some chickens crammed into the sheds with the 30,000+ birds, okay? And trust me, it's not going to be one of those where they all have 1 meter each. No, it's going to be rammed in 13 birds per square meter. So pigs could be raised in a concrete pens with almost no enrichment. Concrete pen. Again, just imagine that. Are we talking about the animal welfare? This is what they're pushing. And they allow pigs to be in the concrete pens. I think to me, this is just damn cruel. And apparently, cows kept indoors in a zero grazing system for much of their lives. Okay, so this is, again, the company that pushes the welfare of the animals. Again, I'm not saying this is in all farms, but this is allowed under their regulations, if you wish. So, okay, apparently there was some multiple exposés from the Channel 4 and some other things when they found animal abuse, neglect, and the squalid conditions on the tractor certified farms. Apparently there were some hidden cameras, again, on the red tractor farms when they found people abusing animals. But again, because the CCTV doesn't get caught, or doesn't get checked, in fact, sorry, people don't get caught. And if it does happen, unless people actually kick off, this is all gets just brushed under the carpet, like it pretty much did a few months back on the one I mentioned earlier. And so with the red tractor, the same as with organic, they're meant to be having some audits done on the farms. And just you would imagine when you are about to do an audit, you kind of spring a bit of a surprise to actually see how people are dealing with, with the system and that sort of thing. But unfortunately, apparently, we've been told that in a lot of cases, the red tractor will book an appointment with the farm to actually see how things are happening. So you can imagine if you're not to the standard, but the auditor is coming, then I'm pretty sure you will be behaving yourself slightly differently. So there we are, guys, right? This is pretty much a little bit of an eye-opener, I think. In no way this is to attack any farms or anything like that, because I know that things are different. All the farms are different, like again, when I say this with the chicken, but this is what's allowed, okay? And this is what's been found by some investigations as well. It does actually happen. So the whole idea when I'm doing those videos and I'm doing a food expose, we are looking at the labels, we are looking what's inside our food, because I'm pretty sure you're aware, we are pretty much poisoned and, shall I say, misled, pretty much as a whole food industry. We're forever fed the stuff that we don't want, the add-on stuff in the food that we don't want to eat. And of course, the major thing that do mislead us with the labels quite a lot. So the idea of this video is to give you slightly better understanding. So next time you are going to the supermarket, and if you're solely buying, say, either red tractor or organic because you've been made believe that those certain standards are really high standards and is great for the animal welfare, well, it's kind of, you can make your decision based on that. So anyway, guys, well, I hopefully have enjoyed this video. Please don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. This is kind of a preparedness channel, but of course, at the same time, I do cover the whole array of subject, and, food is one of the main things. So there we are. Anyway, don't forget, please, thumbs up, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye-bye.